Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to another video. You guys know I mostly try to stick to putting out one video a day. However, when we find ourselves in situations where there's just so much drama news happening, then there are certain circumstances where I got to put out two, maybe even three videos a day. So here you guys go. Another video in the same day. Here we go. We have some very interesting drama stories in the finance space that I do want to cover. So let's just go ahead and get into it. First off, Meet Kevin's ETF did officially launch today, which is absolutely insane. Let me see. What do you call it? The Meet Kevin. He calls it the Meet Kevin Pricing Power ETF. That's what Meet Kevin is calling it. And so, yeah, Meet Kevin launched his ETF. A bunch of it is Tesla. I think he owns 14% Tesla. He's got a bunch of it in treasuries. He owns AMD. Bottom line, his ETF is basically like the second coming of a Cathie Wood ETF. That's literally all it is. And also, I do actually want to go ahead and address this strange comment that I got. Now, I know I've been very critical of people like Graham Stephan lately. And so because of that, I've gotten a lot of crybabies and Graham Stephan simps all in my comments calling me out, which is fine. You do what you want to do. I really don't care. But I did want to address this one comment right here where this weird guy says that it's obvious that I'm reading from a script. That's absolutely not true. I do not read from a script. I've never read from a script. I mean, maybe like 8 months ago when I had like 300 subscribers, maybe I tried it, but I actually hate reading scripts. I would rather speak from the heart, and that's what I do in every single video. I speak from the heart right off the top of my head because it's more organic, and you guys can feel my personality and raw emotion when I'm speaking off the heart and off the head rather than reading a script. I honestly don't know how these major YouTubers read off a script. I personally can never do it. In terms of the subjects that I cover, what I do is I take time to prepare before I record the video. I read it thoroughly, and then whatever's on the top of my head, I say, and if I make a mistake, I edit it. It's really that simple. But no, I do not read a script. I think scripts are stupid. I don't know how people do it. It makes me feel like a robot. Okay, let's go ahead and get back to the video. So Scott Shafer, that's right, the guy who went viral for exposing established titles as a scam, which, by the way, I'm not calling established titles a scam. I really don't know. I did take a look at Scott's video, then I looked at some other videos, and I personally have determined that some of the stuff that Scott said in this video is inaccurate, which there are some people out there that are speculating that established titles, the company, might actually sue Scott Shafer. That'll be very interesting. But here's what happened last night that was just absolutely crazy and fun to see, because you guys know that I do not like Scott Shafer and he does not like me. Scott Shafer actually got the balls to debate another YouTuber, which was so funny because you guys know about 4 or 5 months ago, before Scott blew up and became YouTube famous, Scott was supposed to debate me. However, he never ended up doing that. Even when I reached out and said, hey, come debate me, he still would never do it. But oh, I found out why. After watching this debate that he did with this guy named Vince, I now understand why Scott would not debate me. Because you see, folks, there is a difference between having the ability to write a script based on the research you've done and actually debate and defend the research you have done. And one thing that we discovered about Scott Shafer last night in that debate is that, one, Scott Shafer is a terrible debater, absolutely horrible. 2, he cannot defend his points. And 3, he's just not all that smart. Like, he's smart enough to write a script, but he can't even defend his own points in regards to why exactly established titles is a scam. And it's the most funniest thing in the world. Take a look at some of these clips from yesterday's debate between Scott Shafer.
Brit, who made a video where he exploited their whole website. They had a terrible sale where you get like a free plot of land, and he bought like all of Scotland because you could use the code over and over again.
What does that have to do with any of this?
Their company is terrible and have no idea how to run their website.
Okay, so now your point is the company's just terrible. It's not in your video title is YouTube's biggest con. Yeah. Because they don't put how many trees they planted, that makes it YouTube's biggest con. Come on, bro. Like the YouTubers that did these brand deals, I'm under the opinion that everything a YouTuber promotes, it's under, they have the final say. They're called influencers. But the point is, this thing isn't even a scam. They're selling you a bullshit title, saying they're planting a tree, and they're doing just that. You didn't
the
uncover...
Isn't real.
You uncovered... The only thing you found out was just a silly novelty way people like to just kind of waste their money. That's all that it is. It's not some massive defraudment YouTube's biggest con. It's ridiculous.
All right, well, that's your opinion.
This man, Scott, is a terrible debater, folks. So Vince had some actual good points and challenged Scott on those good points. And Scott Shafer's only response was, well, that's your opinion. Well, that's how you feel. Like, Scott, fight back. Like, what are you doing? Like, what a horrible debater. Like, this does not make you look good, sir. Especially considering the fact that because your video went viral, you're going to have a lot of people coming after your head, boy. Because you called out established titles, which a lot of big YouTubers promoted in their videos. So when you make accusations like this and you post videos like that, obviously you didn't expect it to be viral, but you should be able to defend what you put in the video. Otherwise, it starts to place a little bit of scrutiny on you. And it's like, okay, how much did this guy really uncover and know? Because the more research that I do and the more things that I look at, it kind of looks like Scott Shafer actually stole a lot of that video from other YouTubers. And boy, do we know Scott has a history of stealing content from other YouTubers. Moving on to the next story, it just got announced today that the state of South Dakota has officially banned TikTok, at least as it relates to state government agencies as well as employees and contractors and things like that. So I just want to make it very clear. TikTok is banned in terms of state agencies, employees, contractors who are using state devices. They are not allowed to use TikTok on state devices while being a state employee or a contractor and different things like that. Just want to clarify that. But that's still a very serious thing. And it's ushering in a new wave of new scrutiny regarding TikTok. Most of you guys know it has been said for years now that TikTok should be banned. You had all kind of different government agency spokespeople coming out and talking about it. Donald Trump talked about it during his presidency. And now there seems to be a renewed focus on people thinking that because TikTok is owned by the Chinese government, it's owned by a Chinese company called ByteDance, that it is not safe as it relates to national security. And it'll be interesting to see if other states follow suit and do the exact same thing that the state of South Dakota has done in regards to TikTok. And then lastly, I do want to talk about Sam Bankman-Fried. There's numerous reports coming out regarding him. First off, he did do an interview recently with a woman. I don't remember her name, but CoffeeZilla actually made a video on it and debunk some of the things that Sam Bankman-Fried said, so feel free to check that out. Also, we had some breaking news that was reported by a newspaper called Axios, I believe is how you say it. And basically, Sam Bankman-Fried, I guess, told them that he only has $100,000 to his name. And yeah, that's absolutely insane because at one point, this guy was a multi-billionaire and was looked at as the richest man in crypto, the next JP Morgan, all that stuff. And now that guy only has $100,000 to his name, which some of the people who follow me have more than that in their bank account. So it's just crazy how much this guy's wealth has fallen. The other crazy thing is Sam Bankman-Fried has this bombshell live stream interview that is coming up with the New York Times, except there's one major problem. They're not live streaming it to the public. And as a matter of fact, it's a private event that you have to pay $2,500 in order to attend, which is absolutely insane. It's just downright wrong, in my opinion, considering the fact that FTX has about 1 million people who have been affected and desperately want to know what in God's name happened to their money. So it's just very elitist of the New York Times and shows that they definitely don't care about the people and they only care about money. They're no different than the YouTube grifters, in my opinion. I mean, for crying out loud, you see what's going on. You see how much of a big deal this entire thing has been, and you're charging people $2,500 to be able to tune in to this interview with Sam Bankman-Fried that is going to be taking place with the New York Times. Absolutely despicable. But unfortunately, folks, that's the world that we live in. And then the last thing that I do want to say is that the U.S. House Committee on Financial Services has scheduled a hearing on FTX for December 13th. So obviously Congress is finally getting involved and we're going to see what happens there. And so, all right, that was a lot. That's your news update for today. I felt that these stories were extremely important for you guys to know, and so that's why I went ahead and made this second video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If so, feel free to like the video, subscribe, love the channel, all that great stuff. See you guys in the next one.